YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Paul's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're continuing with our playthrough of Pokemon Blue to figure the best Poison-type Pokemon is in Generation 1. We don't have a lot of types left. After the Poison-type, we only have Psychic, Water, and Normal, so we're getting now to the nitty-gritty. With the Poison-type, we have two Pokemon we've already played through. We played through with Tentacruel, we played through with Weezing last week. Recommend you go check those playthroughs out. Today we're going to continue with the trend and play through with Muk. Muk is known as a sludge Pokemon, and this is a very big frustration for me. Game Freak has no consistency at all when it comes to Generation 1, and that's kind of the thing about Generation 1. I always call it a glorious masterpiece of imperfection, because it's fun, it's amazing, and it was what it was, and it's just like, and now you compare it to modern games, it's really just, unbalanced, a lot of things like that. But this is known as a sludge Pokemon. This Pokemon looks like Sludge, and it doesn't get to move Sludge to level 37. Last week we played through with Weezing, and Weezing started the game with Sludge. Does that make sense to you? It does not make sense to me, but it is what it is. Let's review the stats. HP is 105, attack is 105, defense is 75, speed is 50, and special is 65. Attack and HP are very good with this Pokemon. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of physical moves, but we're going to get enough to get through the game. We have decent special, and we have a couple special moves we're going to utilize in this game. Defense is okay, and speed is our biggest hindrance. Let's go and watch the first battle of the game against our rival. Our rival's name is Lycansub. There is not a good rival Pokemon for this Pokemon. If we get a grass type starter, we're going to have poison moves, and eventually we're going to get Fire Blast, and we'll be able to obliterate it. And when it comes to Charmander and Squirtle, they're both going to evolve into something weak to Thunderbolt, and that is a move we get access to. So there's not really a great option. I just chose Charmander because it was I haven't played against Charmander very often, so that's what I picked. And we're going to move right on to the Bug Forest. We got a pretty easy win over our rival. That battle was inconsequential. So we start the game with Pound, Disable, and Poison Gas. Pound is okay, I guess, because it goes off our physical attack stat, but it's still just a 40 base power move. It's not very good. It would be amazing if this Pokemon started with Sludge. I think I'm going to actually do a what if scenario. What if Muk, the Sludge Pokemon, started with Sludge? And look at our stats. When we go over this real quick, Poison type, we're mono Poison type. So we only have weaknesses related to two things, Ground and Psychic. And we might be weak to Bug. I think we have a mutual weakness to Bug Pokemon as well. We are in the medium fast growth rate, which is pretty good for a single playthrough. We're going to get levels pretty easy during this game. We're not going to in slow level group or anything like that. That's not going to hinder us. And we get a critical hit rate of 9.77. That's not great, but you're going to see it actually comes in pretty handy in some clutch battles in this playthrough. And just check my weaknesses. Yeah, just Ground and Psychic is what we're weak to in Gen 1. This type chart I'm looking at is not correct, because I think Bug type, we're also weak to Bug type in Gen 1. It's like a mutual weakness. But now we're going to go ahead and fight our second rival battle. Our second rival is going to come out with a Pidgey. And what we don't want is what he just did there, which is go for Sand Attack. Sand Attack is like the worst case scenario. And Charmander's is actually probably the worst Pokemon in this battle. Because if you have Squirtle, Squirtle's going to have a water move. And if you're facing Squirtle, usually you're weak to Squirtle. And then the other Pokemon is Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur has Leech Seed. Leech Seed's not good because if he Leech Seeds you and you keep missing with Sand Attack, because of Sand Attack, he's just going to eat away your health. But we outpace Charmander, we knock him out, we beat our rival. We named our Pokemon Goop, by the way, because he looks like Goop. And we're going to go ahead and face this last Bug Catcher in the Bug Forest. And then we'll head on and face the Million Light Years Trainer. Weedle comes out, not very difficult at all. We cannot get poisoned with this Pokemon, so that's pretty nice. We don't have to deal with any kind of poison issues. And now we're going to go ahead and face the Million Light Years Trainer. This battle with Brock, you have to come in at level 15. You can't go any lower than level 15. You're not going to have the damage rounds. You're not going to get enough. You don't have enough health to survive. So we had to do a little bit of training. That's why we're level 12 right now, rather than being like we were level 10 when we beat that Weedle. But we've poisoned the Sandshrew. So even if he Sand Attacks us and we keep missing, like what keeps happening now, we still get the knockout. Pretty easy win. And we're going to leave and come right back. And now we're going to face Brock. We have to be level 15. I wanted to do this at such a lower level, but the numbers didn't add up. So what we're going to do is go for Pound. That's all you got to do for Geodude. Just go for Pound and knock it out as fast as humanly possible. The real challenge is Onix. Onix does not outspeed us. We are speed tied. That's one reason why we won't be level 15, is so we can speed tie the Onix. So it does give us the opportunity to go first. If you really want to make this battle super easy, just get to level 16 and you'll beat Brock pretty easy. There is a little bit of RNG here with Geodude, because Geodude's going to go for defense curl a lot, so you're not going to do a lot of damage, but you just hope that once in a while you get a critical hit and it's going to do a massive amount of damage. But you do outpace the Geodude pretty easy. And we have more than half health going into the battle against Onix. Now, Onix is going to go for a handful of things. He's going to go for Screech and lower your defense. That's not really that big of an issue, because he's not going to do a lot of damage with Tackle. We have decent defense. What we want to do here is poison Onix, and that's why I keep going for Poison Gas. He's also going to go for Bide. When he goes for Bide, Poison Gas is great, because it will poison him, and it won't do any damage to him, and eventually Brock will run out of full heals. He has 5 full heals per Pokemon. He will not use more than 5 on each Pokemon. He's not like he has 10, and he'll use all 10 on one Pokemon and none on another. Once you use 5, he stops using them. So now that he's poisoned, we want to counter what's called Bide game. He'll go for Bide, and we're going to use Pound and do damage to him. But once he initiates Bide, we're going to switch to like Poison Gas or Disable or something. But we slightly outpace him, and we get the knockout over Brock. It's not a great win. Like level 15, imagine how that would have been at level 14. We definitely would have lost. But we move on to Mount Moon, and we're going to face the Super Duper Nerd who's guarding his fossils. Pound will be a 2-shot on the Grimer. Voltorb, we're going to go ahead and poison the Voltorb. We don't have a lot of power points left, so I'm trying to conserve some power points. Probably didn't need to do that. We probably just gone for Pound, but I thought it'd be rather safe than sorry. We don't have another move, so it's not like I can just add another move and come back or whatever. We'd have to spam out all this stuff, and I don't think we can actually poison the coughing at the end of that battle there, so I didn't want to do that. We grab the Dome Fossil, all hit with Dome Fossil, and we dive right into our third rival battle on Nugget Bridge, and he leads out with a Pidgeotto. Same thing in this battle, we want to make sure we knock him out before he goes for Sand Attack. He goes for Sand Attack, but he misses, that's good. Well, I'm okay with that. I'm okay if he hits us with Quick Attack, that's okay. Now, there's no way we can set up or anything, just knock out the Abra. Abra is always a gimme in that battle. Then we have knockout on the Rattata, and now Charmander looks like it's going to be about a 2-shot. Very good critical hit. Don't know if that mattered, but it knocked it out. We'll take the win. Pretty easy win over our rival. I wouldn't say super easy, barely an inconvenience, but pretty easy. And now we're going to move on to face Misty. Now, we don't have a great move for Misty here, but we do have a lot of bulk. We are over-leveled, and we're going to see what happens here. We outspeed the Staryu. We do not outspeed the Starmie. So Pound is a 2-hit on the Staryu. That's good. So for Misty, we're going to go for Poison Gas. Luckily, she goes for Defense, X Defend, and now we're going to go for Bide. So whatever she does damage to us wise over 3 turns, we're going to deal back double, and that's enough to knock her out. So pretty easy win. If she'd got another critical hit on Bubble Beam, she probably would have beat us there. So maybe that's a little bit of luck, but I'll take the luck. And now we're going to move on and get our first real good move of the game. We're on the SSN, we're facing this youngster, and we're going to 2-shot his Nidoran male. And we're going to go ahead and grab this TM08. TM08 is one of the best TMs in the game, especially when you get it, and that's TM08 Body Slam. We're going to use Body Slam, we're going to add it. Now we're going to go ahead and take on our rival. Pidgeotto is going to go down to 1 Body Slam. Yep, 1 Body Slam. Critical hit, don't think it mattered, but we'll take a critical hit every time we can get it, especially when it's only 9.77%. We're going to go for Pound on the Kadabra. I thought it was going to be a 1-shot, but we'll take the knockout nonetheless. I don't know why he went for Teleport there. He should have gone for Confusion. We were weak to that. We 2-shot the Charmeleon. Very easy win over our rival. And now we're going to move right on and face Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge is the Electric Gym Leader, and we are going to get a very nice move from Lieutenant Surge, which I forget to add, actually. I do not add that to our repertoire until midway through Rock Tunnel. But we're going to 1-shot the Voltorb, 1-shot the Pikachu, and we 1-shot the Raichu. We take a lot of damage from the Raichu there, but we tank it like a boss. And now we're moving on to the Rock Tunnel. I usually do not show anything in this Rock Tunnel, but I'm going to show you I screwed up and did not add Thunderbolt yet. And look how convoluted this battle gets. If I'd have had Thunderbolt, that'd have been a 1-shot. I outspeed, we'd have 1-shot the Slowpoke. We were moving on to the next trainer that also has a Slowpoke. But I just thought I'd show you that. We did add it after that battle to make sure that we can get through. And now we're going to go ahead and face a Boomer the Hiker. We did not have any healing potions. I forgot to pick up a Super Potion on the way into Rock Tunnel. So we knock out the Geodude. We want to Poison first, and then go for a Pound/Body Slam, a mixture of the two. But we do not want them to self-destruct. I think we can tank a self-destruct from one of them, but we can't take them from all of them. Body Slam, one more Body Slam should knock it out. Poison damage combined with Pound, get the job done. 51 HP left. We're going into our final Pokemon we got to face is Gravel. He goes for self-destruct. We tank it like a boss. We beat Boomer the Hiker and move right on. To Celadon City, we're going to go ahead and take on Erica's gym. We did a couple errands before we came in here. Now, Erica's gym is Grass type. We are Poison type. It makes sense to take it on. But we don't exactly have a great move to take on Erica's gym. Just like if we had Sludge right now, that would have been a 1-shot, and we'd be taking on Erica right now. However, because we only have Body Slam and Thunderbolt's not going to do nothing, we have to get through this gym with Body Slam. And this battle becomes way more convoluted than it has to be because we got put to sleep. It is what it is, but now we're going to go ahead and take on Erica. We do not have a great move for Erica. I just thought the typing would help us, and she couldn't do much to us. That's why I took on this gym. Maybe I should have waited and come back. However, we do need the move she gives us to take on Giovanni and make it a little bit easier. Now, we are speed tied with the Victory Belt. So it goes for Wrap, and we really can't do anything until it's done wrapping, and we knock it out with 2 Body Slams. Tangela comes out. Tangela's not going to do much to us. It only has Constrict and Bind. Those are garbage moves. And the last Pokemon is Vileplume. Now, Vileplume does hit a critical hit on Petal Dance, so that's not great. But we outpace it. We don't take a lot of damage from grass moves. This is what I anticipated. We get the win, we add Mega Drain, and now we're going to take on Giovanni. Giovanni number 1, he comes out with an Onix, and guess what? Mega Drain is great against Onix, and it's also great against Rhyhorn. They are 4 times weak to Mega Drain, so that's great. And then Kangaskhan comes out. Kangaskhan does not have any weakness to Mega Drain, but we're going to go ahead and go for Thunderbolt. I'm glad it did not go for Bite again, because it made us flinch. It could have really made this battle a lot more convoluted if it kept flinching us. But we get the win over Giovanni, and we're going to go ahead and grab the Silph Scope, grab a Super Potion, and we're going to take on our 5th rival in the Pokemon Tower, and he leads out with a Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto Thunderbolt, 1 shot on the Pidgeotto. Execute comes out, Body Slam on the Execute, critical hit. Don't know if that mattered or not. All we did, we just had an Execute battle where we didn't knock it out in 1 Body Slam, knock out the Kadabra, and knock out the Charmeleon. Clean sweep over our rival, and we're going to move right on. And we're not going to showcase the stuff in Pokemon Tower, but we are going to save right before we face Koga. Now, we don't have a great move for Koga either. Koga is not something we're going to have a great move. What I should have done is we do get the move Minimize. Now, I don't usually let Minimize or I'm going to pause for a second. I don't use the move Minimize or Double Team in my playthroughs. In Generation 1, if it just upped our evasion, it'd be fine. Like in Generation 2, use the move, no problem. But in Generation 1, it causes the badge boost. Not only does it up your evasion, but also ups your other stats. And I don't think it's a fair badge boosting move. Other moves are like Harden, Acid Armor, Swords Dance, Amnesia, Agility. Those moves are great badge boost moves. But I think this is way too overpowered with Double Team in Generation 1, and Minimize does the same exact thing. So that would have been the best strategy, is use Minimize, and that's going to prevent Coughing here from going for a Smoke Screen. But I decided not to do that and think it was fair. So Body Slam does 2-shot the Coughing. Now Muk comes out. Hey, that's us. And Muk is going to be a 3-shot. He disables Mega Drain, which I was never going to use, so that's fine with me. And look how many times we're missing. We just missed 2 back-to-back right there. Our accuracy is lowered to 66%, so that's not fun. Now it's lowered to 50%. And now we're facing the Weezing. Self-Destruct does not do that much damage to us at all. We still have more than half health. So we take on Koga and we win. And we didn't have a great move at all for that battle. Maybe Tackle or Harden would have been great for that battle. But that leads us right into our next gym leader, which is going to be Blaine. Now again, we don't have anything great for Blaine. However, Blaine doesn't really have anything great for us. We're not weak to Blaine. He doesn't do any damage. The only thing that really is a problem is it does outspeed us. So all of its Pokemon except for one we'll speed tie with the Ponyta, but Growlithe does not outspeed us. Sludge is almost a 1-shot, not quite there, but we'll get a 2-shot out of the Growlithe. And then Ponyta comes out, and this is what I was afraid of, is it keeps going for Fire Spin, and we don't get a chance to attack. This could go on forever, and it can just easily knock us out. However, we do knock it out in 2 hits. Rapidash comes out next. We just got hit by Growl, so our physical moves have now been diminished. Now we're going to go for Thunderbolt to counter that. We get flinched. It misses its next attack. That's good. It keeps healing. That's not fun. And it's not doing too much damage, like I said, with Fire Spin. But the problem is Arcanine can come out and just obliterate us if it goes for Fire Blast. Now Arcanine comes out, and it goes for Takedown. We'll take a Takedown. We want a Body Slam. And it goes for Super Potions. It keeps doing Super Potions. We survive on 3 hit points. We get a critical hit with Body Slam. That battle was so stinking lucky. That was one of the luckiest battles that I think we've had in a long time. But we'll take the win, and now we'll move on and face our 6th rival, which is in Silphco. He's going to come out with a Pidgeot, and we are going to go for Thunderbolt on the Pidgeot. It does a 1-shot. That's very surprising to me. Actually, not so much, because we don't have as high a special to do physical attack. We are going to learn Harden, and I got to figure out what move to get rid of. As much as I would love to keep Mega Drain, this is the Pokemon I really would love to keep 5 moves. Because if you could have Body Slam, Thunderbolt, Mega Drain, Harden, and Sludge, this Pokemon would just run roughshod over this game. But we don't. We Body Slam the Alakazam. We 1-shot the Gyarados, by the way. I didn't mention that. And Charizard is a 2-shot with Thunderbolt. He really can't do anything to us, so it's a pretty easy battle, honestly. And we move right on and face Giovanni number 2. Would have loved to be able to keep Mega Drain for Giovanni number 2, because he has 2 ground Pokemon. We're going to go for Harden, though, and this is just going to change our perception of battles. But we're going to set up and sweep rather than just going for just normal attacks. Body Slam on the Nidorino. We're going to 2-hit the Kangaskhan. Very good. We actually outspeed the Kangaskhan now with as we're badge boosting, so that does help. Body Slam on the Rhyhorn. See, this is the problem with ground-type Pokemon. Now we don't have a great move for ground-type Pokemon. It is what it is. We're going to have to survive with it, and they can't really do anything to us. The thing about this is a lot of the ground-type Pokemon you face in this game, like Giovanni's, don't have ground moves. The only ground Pokemon you face that Giovanni has that has a ground move, I believe, is only Dugtrio. He has Dig. So now we're going to face Sabrina. Sabrina and her whip, and this is going to be a rough battle. We do not outspeed the first Pokemon, which is Kadabra. It critical hits. We do get the one shot after we badge boost one time. And after one badge boost, we do outspeed now. But now the problem is we're going to get knocked out by the Mr. Mime. And it critical hits too. So 2 back-to-back critical hits by the opposition knocks us out here. We're going to go for Body Slam on the Kadabra. I think it's safer to set up on Mr. Mime. Even though Confusion is super effective, it's not as powerful as Psybeam. So we get set up, and now we outspeed all the Pokemon. We just don't want to level up in battle, and looking at the experience bar, we're not going to. Body Slam on the Venomoth, and as long as we don't crit, and not... Okay, we do. We knock out the Alakazam. We beat Sabrina and her whip. Now leaves one gym leader left, and that is Giovanni. Like I said, Giovanni is the most scary, technically, type... Or Sabrina and Giovanni back-to-back are scary type-wise. However, Giovanni only has one ground move on his entire moveset. I think he has 2, technically. Rhydon has Fissure, but Fissure can't hit us. We are higher level. And we outspeed, so it's not going to be able to hit us. So we're going to go for setup, and that's going to give us the ability to do a decent amount of damage to Rhyhorn. And hell, Rhyhorn could also go for Tail Whip and lower our defense and up our attack stat again. So our attack stat, our speed, everything's getting boosted, so that's okay. Even if we get through the battle and that's all we have left, we're going to one-shot the Dugtrio. We could have added Mimic there and Mimic Dig from the Dugtrio, but I digress, it's fine. We're just fine. They're not gonna do any damage to us. Look how much damage the Nidoking did. Nidoking did nothing. So we're not gonna go. We go for Sludge so that we can poison the Rhydon. It does extra damage, and we're just gonna have to spam Body Slam. There's nothing else we can use. Can't use Thunderbolt, and Sludge is really diminished by 4 times, so it's not that effective at all. We eventually will knock out the Rhydon because it can't do anything to us. We beat Giovanni number 3 Giovanni, and we're gonna move right on to face our final rival before the Elite Four. He is going to lead out with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot is a great Pokemon to set up on. It has nothing it can do. It's just going to spam Agility. This is part of Generation 1's AI quirk that, I don't know if you've ever watched my videos before or watched other YouTubers that explain this, but basically in Generation 1, some trainers have a thing called Good AI, where he is looking at me and saying, oh, this is a Poison type. The most effective move against this is a Psychic type. Agility is considered a Psychic type move. However, it's not going to do damage. So he is just going to spam Agility. It's going to make him super fast, but he's just going to spam Agility because that's what the good AI tells him is the best move possible to do against me. We're going to go for that. We're going to knock out the Pidgeot in 1 hit. Body Slam on the Rhyhorn is going to take 3 knockouts, or 3 hits, there we go. We do get our defense lowered a little bit, but not a big deal. It's super boosted. 1 shot on the Execute. Gyarados comes out. Thunderbolt's a 1 shot as well. Looks like we may upgrade or level up in the middle of battle. That's fine. It's not going to do that much stuff to us anyway. Thunderbolt on the Charizard. Slash actually does a decent amount of damage, but we do beat our rival. And we're going to head on to the Elite Four. Now that we're heading into the Elite Four, we're going to face Lorelei, but first, let's look at our stats and our moves. Stats of this Pokemon are as follows. Attack is 179, defense is 141, speed is 111, special is 130. In the bottom left corner is all of our stats with the badges applied. So attack is 201, defense is 158, speed is 124, and special is 146. Look at our move set. We're not going to really change this up that much in the Elite Four. I don't think we're going to change it up at all, to be honest with you. Body Slam, Thunderbolt, Harden, and Fire Blast. I added Fire Blast because I have one trainer we're going to face, but we're not going to have a great move against at all unless we use Mimic, and I really didn't want to use Mimic because if you use Mimic, I can't add any of these moves back on, and Mimic's not really a long-term solution for this Pokemon, so I didn't think it was a good idea. Body Slam, good physical move. It's going to get boosted and go off, Harden, and when a badge boosts, Thunderbolt, same thing. It's still going off for a lesser special attack, but still pretty good. And Fire Blast is to handle a couple problems we're going to have. And this is actually something I learned from, I think, the Weezing playthrough, where Fire Blast probably would have solved one of the Weezing's problems. With that being said, let's go ahead and face Lorelei. She's the Ice Specialist of the Elite Four, and she's going to lead out with a Gugong Gong Gong. And just like with Pidgeot, Gugong Gong Gong is just going to spam Rest. It's a Psychic move. It's used as Psychic, which gives us the, freedom to set up with Harden all the way to +6. Which will make this battle super easy, barely an inconvenience. Thunderbolt on the Dugong. Thunderbolt on the Cloyster, very good. Thunderbolt on the Slowbro, very good. We probably could have just Thunderbolted the Jinx, but we switched to... we probably just switched to Body Slam or Fire Blast. That would do the same thing, very good. And then Lapras comes out. Thunderbolt on the Lapras. Get a very easy win, very super easy win over Lorelei. And we're going to go ahead and just... We're going to heal up there, but we didn't need to heal. We didn't take any damage. So all we gotta do is make sure we can get through Bruno. We don't want to badge boost on the Onix. However, badge boost on the Onix is actually probably the smartest thing to do right now because we need something. We need a way to get through Onix. Nothing we have is great against Onix. This is where Mega Drain would have been great to keep or save it for later, but it is what it is. We one-shot the Onix. Now we're gonna go for Harden again. And the problem we had is we leveled up, so that's why I'm going for. I did a couple Hardens, attacked Onix, and then a couple more hardens, because we leveled up and lost this badge boost. So now we should be fine on the Fire Blast on the Onix, and we have one Pokemon left, Fire Blast on the Machamp. I think Body Slam would have one-shot, but we get two-shot nonetheless. Bruno's not really difficult. We don't want to talk about Bruno very much. That leads us on to Agatha, and Agatha is the most difficult member of the Elite Four for this Pokemon. We can't poison it, so that's why keeping Sludge was not useful. We can't really do much at all because we don't have anything that does great damage to Ghost/Poison Pokemon. So, two of our Pokemon we actually have a great move for. We have Thunderbolt for Golbat, which would be a one-shot, and Arbok. It's going to be close to a one-shot, but it's pretty easy. But the problem is Gengar. We have to rely on Fire Blast and Thunderbolt to knock out the Ghost Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and try this again. We take our second reset of the game, and we get put to sleep, and it goes for Dream Eater, and yeah, that just tears us apart. So we're going to take another reset here. And so there's two quick resets to Agatha. And so we're going to take her on one more time. Let's see if this is the good one. Go for Harden, and Harden one more time. I'm okay with Nightshade. I'm okay with those things. Thunderbolt on the Golbat, very good, knocks it out. And we just need one more Harden, very good. I'm okay with, like I said, I'm okay with her going for and doing her stupid move of Nightshade. That's fine. Because eventually, if we get fully set up, we're going to be able to one-shot. We two-shot the Gengar, we two-shot the Haunter, and we're going to two-shot the Arbok, and we get paralyzed, so that's not great. However, if we just can hit our moves and do some decent damage here, if Agatha was smarter, she'd have a much better way of, she'd just take us out right away. But we get the knockout, we get the win, and we'll take the win. It wasn't a pretty win nonetheless, but we'll take it, and we'll move right on to Lance, the Dragon Master, and he's going to lead out with a Gyarados. And this is another example of where the AI just screws over the opposition here. Thunderbolt is a one-shot on Gyarados. We get +2 setup. We're going to Body Slam the Dragonair. Even if we didn't go first, it was just going to go for Agility. Agility is a psychic move, so it sees it as the only effective move that it has. And Dragonite here will go for Agility or Barrier for the same exact reason. So that's kind of a nice thing about being the Poison type. We beat Lance and move right on and face the champion, our rival, the last battle of the game. We're level 66, and we're going in with 3 resets at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 24 seconds. We'll see how this goes. Harden on the Pidgeot. It's okay if it attacks us. It's not going to do that much damage anyway. What we don't want is get hit by Sky Attack, because Sky Attack is very powerful. However, it doesn't do that much damage, as you can see here. It only does about 20 damage. Thunderbolt on the Pidgeot. There you go. It's a one-shot. We're fully set up, so we shouldn't have any problems here. Body Slam on the Alakazam. We don't have a great move for Rhydon. We'll go for Fire Blast, though. It's going to be a 2-shot. It does get burned, so now it can't do that much damage to us. Body Slam on the Rhydon. Like I said, it can't do that much damage. We don't want to waste too many power points with this. Now, I misclick here, and it really irritates me that I misclicked and hit Harden rather than going for Fire Blast, because this takes a little bit of extra time. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm still going to get this done around the same time. It's just a couple more seconds, but it just frustrates me that I misclicked. One shot on the Executor with Fire Blast, and now Thunderbolt on the Gyarados, and Thunderbolt on the Charizard. Are they both one-shots? They are both one-shots. So we get a time locked in at 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 19 seconds as we beat our rival. We get our time locked in at level 67 in the Hall of Fame. So not a bad time. It is about what I expected for this Pokemon. I thought about an hour, and there's a couple things I guarantee I can do to kind of knock some time off of this. The big problem is it takes over 10 minutes to get by Brock. You gotta get to level 15 to make the battle doable. And honestly, if you want to make it more consistent, you gotta get to level 16. And at that point, you're just over-leveled with bad moves, and that's not a great thing to be in Generation 1, but it is doable. So let's go ahead and look at the tier list, and we'll see where this Pokemon lands. So, with a time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 19 seconds, that puts this Pokemon right smack dab in the D tier, right in front of Venomoth. Venomoth actually beat the game at 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 20 seconds, so it's just off by a second, but Muk gets the win. So let me adjust this. All right, and we're back, all adjusted. So now we're looking at Muk. It's in the D tier. Do I think that Muk can get into the C tier? I think at bare minimum it can. I mean, I can shave off 3 minutes of pretty much any run if I try hard enough. I think this Pokemon can definitely do it. And it does have some huge disadvantages. I mean, it's just kind of, I just explained to you why this is called the Sludge Pokemon and doesn't get Sludge level 37. If we start a game with Sludge with this Pokemon's attack stat, it wouldn't be a question. This Pokemon could easily get into the B tier. Easily get in the B tier. Save easily 10, 15 minutes on this Pokemon. Because that taking so much time with Brock. Having Sludge against Brock, even though it's not a great move, it still would do a lot better than freaking Pound. So I don't want to, it frustrates me. Frustrates me, Game Freak, sometimes. Like, there's no common sense. I don't know who got put in charge of this stuff, but then they just make bad decisions and then there's no accountability. It's just really weird. However, that is the result of this playthrough. We have a couple playthroughs coming up. Next week, I have a Heracross. It's not really an optimized playthrough because there's not really a good egg move. However, it's going to be It's going to be something decent. I know that we're going to find something for the Pokemon. At the very least, we'll do the event Pokemon where you start the game with Seismic Toss, so that's going to be fun. We'll see how that plays through. At the very least, we're going to get a better time than we did before, hopefully avoiding some battles and whatnot. That's at least the goal here, and I'm adjusting a little bit as I'm talking. And then next week as well, we have another Pokemon we got to play through in the Poison-type challenge. Next week, we're going to be playing through with Arbok. Arbok has some decent things going for it. It has okay stats. Nothing's really a glaring weakness, no pun intended, because this Pokemon gets glare. We start the game with Wrap, Leer, and Poison Sting. Poison Sting is absolutely useless. However, using Wrap and Leer in combination makes some things very easy. And we also get Bite at level 17. Now, this doesn't make sense to me. Why did we get Acid level 47? That does not make sense to me. You should get Acid like level 20 and Bite around level 15 or something like that. And then this Pokemon would just be amazing to have, but Acid at 47 is completely worthless. There's no point in having a 40 base power move that late in the game. Okay, and as we move into the team move set, you get some bright spots here. You get Body Slam, you get Earthquake, you get Dig, you actually get access to Mega Drain, Rock Slide. I don't know why a Snake learns Rock Slide, but we do. We get Rock Slide, so that's going to be great. That's going to be very useful. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So it's going to be a fun playthrough, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And I think now I'm looking at it, might actually do better than Muk, because it has so many other things going for it. I think we'll get through Brock a little bit faster, and then it can snowball a little bit better because it gets a lot more moves. It's going to get Body Slam. It's going to get Dig and then Body Slam very close to each other, and then it can add Mega Drain and Rock Slide very close to each other as well. Let me just think in the comment section down below about this playthrough, about the one next week. What strategies you think I should implement with Arbok? Let me know. I'll see you guys next time.